Phil, just say who you are, mate.
Phil Balcombe from Canowindra.
And what type of sheep have you got here, Phil?
I run 2 studs here. I've got a pole Dorset stud and I've had a Texel stud for approximately 15 years.
And how many ewes do you have in your flock?
I join about 120 ewes each year.
Very good, no worries at all. Can you describe what to look for when selecting rams for prime lamb production? For instance, the conformation, the feet and the head, maybe the testicles?
Yeah, basically you want an animal that stands very square on its feet, good depth of body. You'll find a lot of the sheep recently, they have bred them sort of extreme, going for too much length, and they've lost that depth of body, which is very important. If you want a lamb that's going to dress out well and hang up well.
And can you describe the difference between an export lamb and the difference between a local market lamb?
The local market lambs are generally the lambs which will sort of dress under 22 kilograms, whereas the export lambs are the ones that agree up to the bigger, heavier weights.
No worries. So are you looking at over 22 kilos for an export lamb, dead weight, or?
Yeah, that's dead weight.
Yep. And 22 kilos and under for a local trade lamb.
That's right.
Okay. Just want to hop the fence there and just show us what we're looking for in the conformation in some of these rams.
See this ram here. They should stand square on those back feet that you can see there. Good, plenty of depth down through the hind quarter and depth through the body here as well. Good neck extension, not too heavy in the shoulders.
Why don't you want it too heavy in the shoulders?
That can cause lambing problems.
Yep. Okay. So they might get stuck at birth?
That's right.
Okay. And how old are these rams that you have here?
These ones here are about 11 months old.
Okay. And the type of breed of these rams that are in the pen, these 4 rams?
We've got 3 pole Dorsets here, and just Texel.
Okay, so you have a few Texels. Texels aren't a common breed in Australia, but you still have a market for Texels?
Yeah, there is a fairly big market there, especially for the ewes. A lot of people are breeding these composite breeds now, and Texel is a very important part that they like to use in it.
Okay, so they're more used for a composite breed.
In Australia they are. Yeah.
Yes, yep.
But, most other countries in the world, they're probably the #1 terminal sire at the moment. If you have a look at that ram, you can see the extra muscling in the Texel compared to the other breeds.
Yes, he's quite big in the back end, isn't he?
Yeah, no, they're huge.
Okay, no worries. Do you supplementary feed any of your rams prior to a sale?
That comes back to seasonal conditions, but no, generally not. The only sheep that I supplementary feed will be sheep that are going to be shown at shows.
Okay, so you don't supplementary feed sheep. Is that because they do better when they're sold onto a farm without being supplementary fed? They'll work better as a ram?
That's right, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Excessive grain, that can cause a bit of infertility in sheep.
Right.
So a lot of people that do buy out of a show ring can find they will get the ram maybe infertile for 6 weeks or so after they get him home.
Yep. Okay. And what are the problems with selecting an inferior ram?
That comes back to your progeny. Select an inferior ram, the progeny is not going to be as good, and it's going to take you that extra couple of weeks to get them into market. You pay a bit extra for a quality ram, you'll reap the rewards with his progeny.
Yep, fair enough. And what illnesses can occur in rams affecting their productivity?
Probably the most important one would be brucellosis. If you're going to buy a ram, always buy from an accredited brucellosis-free flock. Depending on the area of the country you're in.
Yep.
Johne's disease is another important one. Make sure they're vaccinated for that if they're going into a high risk area. Then there's just the other common diseases which aren't as prevalent anymore, such as your foot rot. Lice is another important one. Make sure that they've had their chemical treatments.
So you would suggest to anybody buying a ram that they always look for a brucellosis accredited buyer, ram grower.
Yeah.
Yep. And that way you...
member of whatever association they belong to, whether it be the Pole Dorset Association, the Texel Association, always an accredited breeder.
Okay. And that way you'll avoid any disease in your rams when you buy them, to prevent the disease running through your flock when you get the rams home.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
You want to have a look at testicles?
Yep.
Like you can see this ram here. Yeah, good big testicles. Whereas this fella here, you can see they're nowhere near as big. And
yep.
He'd be a cull. I wouldn't be using a ram like that.
Okay, so he might go straight to the abattoir rather than be sold to somebody to produce a prime lamb.
Yeah, that's right. And being an accredited breeder, yeah, those sort of sheep will be culled out.
Yep, fair enough. Well, Phil, thank you very much for letting us have a look at your rams today. They're fine looking rams, and we will put your mobile phone number, and you're contactable via that mobile phone number from our website or via the YouTube website. So thanks very much, Phil, for doing this short interview in what to look for in selecting a ram for prime lamb production.